We're going to talk. We have a sponsor on here we want to talk about here for a second. Abigail, before we get going, can you bring up and let's bring our sponsor up and then we will get going onto the show.
Yes, ma'am. So our sponsor for today is Arabella Counseling. So like I said earlier, here at the Love and Victory Show, we're all about positivity, helping yourself grow and change and adapt to life's challenges. And with that becomes therapy. It's important for everybody to go to therapy, to seek counseling, to be able to talk to somebody, whether that be through your church or whether that be through, a therapist. And we actually have a therapist available for you called Arabella Counseling. So Arabella Counseling is dedicated to providing a safe, welcoming space for women and couples to navigate life's challenges. They will help you in areas such as depression and anxiety, grief and loss, trauma, relationship challenges, interpersonal growth and development, premarital readiness, and all that kind of stuff. You guys can contact Arabella Counseling at 832-770-6297 or email them at info@arabellacounts.com. Their website is also www.arabellacounts.com. We also have a QR code there on the screen if you guys can scan that to book your first appointment with Arabella Counseling.
And before we take that down, I want to actually say something about Arabella Counseling and actually the counselor, which is the therapist counselor is Stephanie. She's amazing. You can catch her every third Saturday here on the show. She's such a wonderful person. She has such a beautiful spirit, easy to talk to. I don't put my name on a lot of people's businesses and products out there because people, it's about credibility and would I be safe? And would I recommend someone to her? Yes, I would. Would I recommend a family member to her? Yes, I would. So sometimes you just need to have a safe place to go and talk where there is judgment free. And I do think that Arabella Counseling is someone to check out.
Amen.
All righty then.
All right, we're going to go right into our acronym of the day.
We're ready to get into this show. I am ready to talk about self-care.
Yes.
I really am.
Yes.
Because it's important to me and I didn't understand that for a long time. I believe in taking care of myself.
Self-care and self-love is really important. And so the acronym is going to kind of set the tone for today's conversation and give us a good kind of base to go off of to move forward in this conversation. So the word of the day is empower. Okay. E is for encouraging, supportive, giving someone confidence, giving hope for future success. M is manicured, carefully maintained. P is priceless, too important to place value on. O is optimum, best or most favorable. W is worthy, having or showing the qualities or abilities that merit recognition in a specified way. E is egotistical, self-centered. R is refreshing, stimulating, or reinvigorating.
All righty then. Well, there's a lot of ways that we can, take this conversation. But before we get going, you guys have had the opportunity to meet our guests. They've introduced themselves. And we actually were on break. And I said, okay, guys, it's time for you all to relax, have a good time. And we're going to try and pour into you guys. So I believe that if we just step back and put ourselves out there and just let it flow, and trust what's on the inside of us, you wouldn't be sitting in this seat if God didn't call you to be here today. So you're the perfect one to talk about self-care. With that being said, self-care isn't being selfish. I didn't believe that in the beginning because I felt like if I thought about myself and we're programmed to think if we're thinking about ourselves, we're being selfish. That's not true. You can't care for anybody else if you're not whole, if you're not good. So when you guys heard the title, And I'm going to start with you, Coco. What did you think of that? Think about that. The title.
I first heard self-care.
I can't hear you, baby. Come on.
Can you hear me?
Come on in the room. Come in the room. Let me hear you.
When I first heard the topic, the first thing that came to mind is, yes, self-care is not selfish. You have to pour into yourself first. If your cup is empty, you cannot pour into anyone else's cup. You can't give what you don't have, mentally, physically, spiritually. You got to be there for yourself first. And I think a lot of people forget that. So that's the first thing I got from the topic was, yeah, it's not selfish. You got to worry about you first and then everybody else second.
Well, and again, if I can dive on that a little bit, we have to stop making self-care be something bad. Like it's a taboo to say, I'm going to care about myself. So, but you also have to be careful that you're not walking around. It's all about you.
Right.
Okay. And when you
be humble.
You got to be humble. And Anna, when you heard the topic, what did you think? The title of the show, what did you think?
Oh, I got super excited because this is things I'm talking about regularly with my coaching. So I was like, this is a perfect title because it's not selfish at all. And then if you are thinking it's selfish, then you've got the wrong idea. And then if somebody's telling you are being selfish, they got the wrong idea. And just like you said, it's not always about me, and you have to be humble, and it's finding that balance. And if you're not finding the balance, it's because you're not truly understanding what self-care takes. And you have to do it.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Now we're getting into the show. Now I hear you, Anna. Okay, then. All right, then. Now we're going to turn it to you. When you heard the title, what did you think?
My first thought was, to me, they're inextricably linked. Like, I can't say I love myself and not care about myself and take care of myself. I can't say I care about myself and that not be a symbol of me loving myself. And so you can't have one without the other. Now, sometimes what we call self-care, if you just shopping all the time,
that is not self-care.
And you still rotting on the inside.
Come on now.
That's not.
That ain't self-care.
Well, sometimes we call things different titles, and just because we want that to be that.
And it has nothing to do with that
At all.
It has nothing to do with the outer. It has everything to do with what's on the inside. What are you pouring out?
That's why when y'all brought up the whole therapy piece, I'm like, I'm pro.
You pro therapy. And you know, in our community, that used to be taboo. And that's why we walk around. So many of us still walking around today. I got it together. You know, I'm good. Because the first thought of therapy means something's wrong with you. No, we all need to have a safe place to talk. So yeah. Brother Carter, when you heard the title, what did you think?
I started immediately thinking, is this an outward thing or an inward thing? And self-care has to start within, on the inside.
Yes.
You know, every Sunday morning, many people get up to go to church on Sunday morning. And they put on their nice attire and they look real nice on the outside.
Oh, come on now.
But they're rotten as hell on the inside.
Come on.
And so your self-care, you know, in order, like you all been saying on the show, self-care has to start with you. You have to work on your mentals, you know, to have self-care. If you're not taking care of your mentals,
come on
first, you know, then it's hard to take care of your physical and your outside and your spiritual, you know, all these different, because all that plays a part. And your mentals is the key. It's the key component, I believe. It's the computer to your life, you know, to your body, your mind, and your soul. I know I'm going ahead of the show.
You're going right where you at.
But I believe if we don't start taking care of our mental state, it's going to be hard to take care of your self-care. What's the title of the show? Self-care.
Self-care isn't selfish.
Yeah.
Self-care isn't selfish.
Yeah, you need to be somewhat selfish about your self-care. And you have to take care of your, like I say, I'm going to keep pushing the mental state of your being. Right. To work on that. What you got?
You know, one of the things I think about as we're talking about the show is talking in this show. I think that you said something that triggered me.
In a
It's a-
bad way?
No, it was a good thing. It was
Okay.
really
When I hear triggered,
you like, oh Lord, I'd have messed up. You didn't. We talk about, you said Sunday morning, we get up and we put all our clothes on and we get pretty on the
yeah, that's
outside.
an
and we head-
example. Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
I'm telling you
ahead.
about my trigger. And so we get pretty on the outside and we walk into the church. We're broken, some of us. We're looking good on the outside, but we don't, what's going on here, we're kind of hiding it. And I think if we start not really dressing up on the outside so much, start working from within and expressing how we really feel, then maybe when we show up on Sunday morning, we might be in a better place to receive what God has for us. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
You do what you do on self-care. So tell me, since this is your passion, help me out on that. If on Sunday morning going to church or showing up at someone's event and I'm not feeling that great, what would you recommend that I do? Because I'm looking good on the outside, but I'm tore up from the flow up on the inside. How should I show up? What should I
bring
do?
it into awareness, because if you're dressing up nice but you don't feel so good inside, or just like Brother Carter said, like if somebody's dressing up but they're still rotten inside, that means they're not being aware of themselves or not truly listening to how they're feeling inside. So it's like, just like Marquis said, like it goes in waves. So if you're going in a wave where you're feeling negative and you're always probably judging or criticizing or complaining, then you're definitely not being aware of your self-care. You're not being aware of how you feel inside. And so you're trying to dress it up. We dress it up with the nice clothes. We can dress it up with the makeup. We can dress it up on the outside however we want. We want to get the nice car. I think that's a big thing, just like with shopping. Like we get the luxuries, we get this, but yet it's still
We're told from
bad
the-
inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how, I hear what you're saying. I done dressed up. I had to go to this event. I had to go to this party. There is someone out there, and I want you guys to give us your comments. You had to show up. You had to go to the event. And anybody can jump in on this one. But you really are not feeling good. But you have to go to this event. You look good. How do you maintain and function where you're able to cope?
They got something called fake it till you make it sometimes.
We're gonna ask this. That's what you think it is?
I can speak on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
Make it till you make it.
Okay.
I've been there before.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I have been in situations where mentally I wasn't ready to be in front of people, around people. Being a makeup artist sometimes, just having to still show up with a smile on your face, still give good customer service. Sometimes you're not there. Val, personally, I've been through a lot. So, I pray a lot. I meditate a lot. I take a really, really deep breath before sometimes I walk in rooms just to remind myself, like, you got this, no matter how you're feeling on the inside. A lot of people can't read me. I'm very smiling. I'm very happy all the time. So you'll never know what's going on the inside. But one thing I will say, if you're feeling like that, you have to take a second to pray to God, give you the strength, get you through whatever you're about to do, and then acknowledge what's going on with yourself so that you can really start working on it, because you can only fake it, but for so long.
So long. There you go. And I like the fact that you said breathe. A lot of times, if I go back into those days when I had to show up in rooms and be present in rooms and really felt like nobody saw me, I couldn't even breathe. And they never even recognized I wasn't breathing. And so, and I think a lot of that came from my childhood. My childhood was, don't bring our business outside of the house, and make sure that you represented the name and represented ourselves well. So I learned how to just suppress what I was feeling. And so
What?
Yes,
You?
I did. I learned. You trying to say I didn't? Come on, baby.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, that's because
you
you
sound like a suppressor.
Well, I'm not anymore. And I wasn't
Should
around
work
you.
it.
I wasn't. See, y'all see Brother Carter? He's already starting, y'all. I wasn't around you, and I was safe. So you helped me to have a voice that's different. Everybody doesn't have that opportunity. Around you, I had a voice. When I was in a room unfamiliar people, even some of the people that I was familiar with, I couldn't breathe. because they didn't see me. Have you guys, I'm gonna ask you, have you ever been in that situation? I
want
saw
to-
you
I
know
want to address something you said, because I had a thought. Some people, and we have to be careful with faking it till we make it.
Yes.
Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it can lead into like this. We develop this performance.
Come on now.
mentality.
Come on.
It's like, okay, let me just go ahead and show out for these folks right quick, and then go back to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then that practice becomes
Who you are.
Habit.
and people act like, and if I go left, bring it back.
No, go.
People act like we can just stop behaviors because we want to.
It don't work like that.
It's like, oh, when I get married, I'm gonna start dealing with a whole bunch of women. Bro, you've been doing this for
It's
15
who
years.
you are. It's who you are.
I gotta get it out of my system. You've been doing this since you was 12.
And all of a sudden it's gonna stop because you got married.
And so we have to be mindful of our behaviors.
Mhm.
Yes.
I tell folks all the time, when you marry someone, behaviors in their mindset.
Yes.
Say that again.
You marry
Did wait. For those in the back of the room, this brother is working on his PhD in education. So he gonna educate us today. Say it again. Come on.
Just as an example, you marry someone's behaviors in their mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get past and she got a nice body and he's 6'8",
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. Do I like being around you?
There you
Right.
go.
Yes.
Are you is your character consistent?
Mm-hmm.
What you saying?
Is your character consistent?
That right there.
Because you can only fake it for too long.
Yes.
Let me tell you, you're not gonna even fake it through. Let's be honest. How long can you fake it through a 4-hour event?
No,
I think
It's gonna become draining.
when
Yeah.
you say when I brought up the subject, fake it till you make it. This is a temporary state of mind. You know, when you get up in the morning and get to a situation, get to a place or something of that nature, you're really not just in the vibe right there. You know, and sometimes you have to, like coming on to the show early in the morning. I'm not really in the mood for the show right now, but something happens along the way. And then I start freeing up and start feeling, better about myself,
Selfie.
first.
Where this show is gonna go in the
yeah.
conversation.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And so that's what I mean by fake it till you make it. Fake it till you get to a point of where you can really just explode and be who you are as an individual.
And
But
again,
when you just faking throughout life, then like you're talking about now, you really have some issues right now
Yes.
because you never become the natural person that you are. You're always a representative, what the counselors always say on the show.
that representative is showing
That
up.
representative always sitting there versus the real Lawrence or the
person.
real Ann, the
Mhm.
real Marcus.
Who you are.
Yeah, be who you are.
Okay,
Yes.
then. So I'm gonna throw another question out there.
Mm.
How do you set boundaries with people around you? Okay, remember self-care. Let's just take it from the topic of the show. How do you set boundaries? And I love how
What do
intense.
you mean about setting boundaries when you say set boundaries? What do
Okay,
you mean?
well, if we're talking about the show is talking about self-care,
Mhm.
isn't selfish, and you have someone that is literally trying to make you be who they want you to be, that representative that they want you to. How do you set boundaries when someone has a vision of how you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to act? How do you handle that? What do you do?
People have power over you like that?
Well, you don't.
Some do.
Come on
Some
now.
people do.
Mhm.
I think definitely when you get into relationships, sometimes at
Mhm.
the beginning you're so excited, you start falling in love and everything, but then someone along the way starts trying to mold you into what they want you to be
Mhm.
because maybe they have a list in their head, and I'm gonna that's
Put-
personal
Put
experience
yourself
right
there. Come on now.
because that definitely I was in that. So
Mhm.
I was happy in the beginning, but then slowly I started seeing like, oh no, like he would tell me like, oh, you can't do this. Why did you order this and all that? So I started noticing like it's his insecurities and his ideal of who he wants me to be.
Mhm.
So, and slowly I started feeling like I feel like I'm getting myself. Like I'm dimming myself down just to be the
Come
type
on,
of
talk,
woman
girl,
that he
talk.
wants me to be.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I can't keep doing this. So that boundary definitely goes with being self-aware of who you are
Mhm.
and who you want to keep being or who you think you're going to be in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I wasn't going to keep making my light them.
so he can be
for
good
some-
about himself.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Mhm.
So I'm
Come
like,
on now.
you got to deal with your insecurities first
Yeah.
because you can't put them on me and then
Right.
put all the blame on me and say
So
like,
let me ask a question. Oh, I like
Mhm.
where you went with that.
Yeah.
When you recognize it, how do you address it? Anybody can
Ooh.
jump on that.
um,
She gonna take it. I love it. Come on now, take
Come on,
it.
Columbia.
like I addressed it with, I need a pause. I need to actually go talk to my therapist.
Mm.
And I need to rebalance the scales within me, rebalance my mindset, really think about, is this safe for me? Is this still showing the love that I wanted to show me? And it was like that. Yeah. I talked to my therapist. I was like, I need to see if I'm thinking wrong, right?
Mhm.
See if my mindset is wrong. But no, it wasn't me.
I love that. I love that. We got some questions out here, and I'm going to go ahead and go with it. Abigail, can you read the questions out?
Yes. So we got a bunch of questions. I am saving some of them for the Q&A segment at the
Mhm.
end.
Mhm.
But I actually had Lanita was commenting, kind of answering the question about setting boundaries with people.
Mhm.
And she said to limit time with them,
Oh,
which I agree with. And
Yeah.
then she also said, figure out who you are so you don't fall into their insecurities.
oh,
And I saw something online actually that kind of talked about boundaries. It was talking about, I think Jonah Hill had like a public dispute with like his girlfriend, and she was a surfer and she was posting pictures like in her surfing like bikinis and stuff.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Well, I'm setting a boundary. Like you shouldn't be posting photos like that."
Mm.
And so like a bunch of people were saying a boundary isn't what you put on other people.
It's what you
you're
put on
willing
yourself.
to accept.
And I'm glad you used that as an example
Yeah.
because your boundary is about you.
Right.
It's not about the other person. It's about you. And now what happens, it affects the other person, and that other person have to determine whether or not they can handle your boundary.
Yeah.
And, and I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Because we throw this word controlling out.
Yeah, come on.
I'm not controlling you. I'm laying it all. I'm putting it all on the
Put
wax.
it right there. This is what this.
Therefore, you get to choose.
Yeah, whether you want to deal with it or not.
Yeah.
Like if I say, "Oh, I don't date women who haven't been in therapy," I'm not saying you got to go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we just won't work.
It won't work
Because I need you to come. I need you to come. Some people like to say, "Come heal." I think that's very insensitive to say
Yeah.
because there's some things we go through in life that we'll never
never be
heal.
healed. Come on.
I prefer folks to say, "Come aware."
Yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Ooh.
That, I don't mean you perfect. Just if you know you got a bad attitude when you get hungry, let me know that.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
So let me ask a question here.
okay, I love that.
I heard you guys talking about somebody in their bikini or whatever.
Who said had a bikini on?
She
There we
did.
go.
I
You
know,
know-
I'm
you
just
know,
being
you're-
petty. I was listening. I
Okay.
heard that.
Okay, so am I being controlling if my wife decide after 40 years of marriage she want to start posting pictures of her in a bikini on social media?
Well, your wife is
Wait
out
a
of
minute,
order.
wait a minute.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Slow down,
Go
little
ahead.
mama.
Go right. Tracy. All right.
So would I be
Control.
controlling or trying to enter her boundaries or whatever you guys
No.
want to say this is?
No.
Because there are situations out there where there's people been married
Mhm.
and your wife or your husband start
Showing.
feeling themselves and start feeling about themselves and want to start posting all of a sudden because social media is out here right now.
Right.
And so is it wrong or is it okay?
No, I
Well,
don't think it's controlling.
Okay.
The reason why I say no is because it's okay to have open communication with your partner.
Mhm.
So if it's something that you dislike or something, let's say for instance, Miss Valerie here, she
Mhm.
wants to post a bathing suit photo and you're like, I don't want the world to see my wife's body like that.
Mhm.
You're showing a little bit too much. That's okay. Now, how you go about communicating it to the person is important as well. Like I just seen a recent situation with Keke Palmer and her significant
Baby
other,
daddy.
Yeah.
and he put it online.
Yeah.
And now that's a little bit different because you're giving all of these people who don't know y'all
Mhm.
A
opinion
say-so.
and a say so.
Yes.
Mhm.
Where he could have sent a text because she was out of state. He could have called her, hey, I'm just not feeling what you're wearing.
Can you pull that
Mhm.
down, baby?
And it's how you say it. If you come off, you can't wear that. You shouldn't be wearing that. That's
Mhm.
it's not really what you say, it's how you say it. So if you're
Mhm.
saying, I think that you're more of a classy woman than what you're actually wearing right now. Maybe you
Mhm.
should just reevaluate what you're showing,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
giving me the time to think like, dang, maybe I am more classy than what I'm
Yeah.
posting out.
Mhm.
I'm
It
thinking to
depends.
myself, woman, have you lost your mind? But I wouldn't put it on social media for everyone to do.
And see, that's different, Brother Carter.
Yeah.
He kind of went about it wrong.
Yeah,
So.
so jump in there.
Because I'm thinking as a man, I'm thinking, what is that doing for you that you may not be getting for me?
There you go.
Yeah,
You won't. I can't give you 10,000 likes. I'm only one person.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you
Yes.
go. There you go.
What is that? Why are you choosing now to do that?
Mhm.
And I think
Well, it's something internally going on with the individual
Yeah.
personally.
and you should if your husband's not okay with that, you should honor your marriage, your
Yeah.
covenant,
Mhm.
and say, you
What-
know what?
Well, since Brother Carter brought that up, and Sister Carter gonna jump in on this here.
Go
First
ahead.
of all, 40-some years of dating
Well, you
and
care for
marriage.
yourself too much to do something like that. So first, I know
let
that.
Sister
already.
Carter jump on in this
All right.
here. First of all, you are what you put out there. And so I respect myself, and I would hope that women would respect themselves, that I don't need a like
Mhm.
by a stranger to validate who I am.
Yes.
So start from within, being okay with it. Goes right back to what I said.
Mhm.
You got to love you.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting up posting pictures of you half nude,
Mhm.
half naked, even before the marriage or even in a marriage, it's something going on with you.
Yeah.
So if Brother Carter and I have been together forever, why would I start at 45 years in now needing someone to like a picture?
Yeah.
He
See,
does.
you're not like that because you got a belt on all the way up to your neck.
Y'all see
Right
it?
now.
Y'all see it? This is all for him. Let me tell you something. This is all for him. But here's the thing. You have to love you.
Yes.
Everybody don't get access to this.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there's a
person-
lot of people out there, not just women, both male
But that's
and
what I'm
female.
saying. If you're in a relationship,
Mm.
why are you giving access to something that's supposed to be sacred to your partner?
Mhm.
Insecurities.
That means that it's something going on with you. It's insecurities.
Yeah.
And so now you need them likes.
No, you didn't. What you done? You made an excuse. Okay,
Oh, come on now.
you didn't piss me off.
Oh,
Now I'm finna go and do this,
oh,
and
so
not even considering
Mhm.
that you're doing it to yourself.
Right.
Yes.
And
You know what I'm saying?
And actually, Lanita kind of made a good point.
baby,
about-
Lanita's all
Lanita's
up in the house.
Is she the only one on the show today?
No,
She
there's,
just loved the
there's
show.
another question after this
Okay,
one
yeah.
that I want to pose right now. So, Lanita said, and I think this does kind of play a part, right? Because I think in that situation, insecurity can lie on both sides, right?
Mhm.
Like maybe I'm feeling insecure, so I feel like I need to post a picture, like a sexy picture, to
Mhm.
get that validation.
Mhm.
But what if you, and Lanita said, but if is it a tasteful picture of her in a bikini or a thirst trap? If
Mm.
you're on a vacation, a beach vacation, and you want to post a picture of you in a bikini, and your man gets mad about that,
He got to work on him because
He
he got me on a vacation.
There
and
is
we
someone with
taking pictures.
insecurities.
yes.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
I like that Lanita said that. But we also have another question on Facebook from John Brown. He said,
John always got to. What you got to say, John?
He said, in 40 years of your marriage, how did you blend your thoughts with your partner?
Whew.
Just speak it.
There you go, baby. I think our thoughts really come from us just opening up our mouth, whether it's going. I think not being afraid, not being afraid of him leaving me. I'm gonna speak for myself. Not being afraid of him leaving me, knowing that no matter what, whether he agrees or not, or I agree or not,
Mm.
we're going to work through it. And so,
Mhm.
being in a place that I feel safe to just share my thoughts.
Mhm.
What are my disbeliefs or whatever, even if we have to go to separate rooms and then come back, just being safe, knowing that we're going to be together. We're going to
Yeah.
work it out.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, we happen to love each other.
There you go. That's the
Okay.
most important thing.
And loving one another, we respect each other to a place to where we wouldn't necessarily have to communicate about disrespecting one another outside of the house.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
if you love someone and you care for them, you would not misrepresent them
There
when
you go.
you leave outside of the house.
There
You
you
know
go.
what I'm saying? And it, disputes we have is in the house. That's fine. You know, because you will have disputes in the household. You will do that. But when you carry that outside of the house, then that's when that becomes a problem.
Yes.
Real
Yes.
good, but thank you, Brother Carter.
And we have
God
a
bless you.
comment as
Mhm.
well that I think is
Lanita better not say nothing else.
She's still talking.
She is, but I'm actually going to read a different comment. This
Okay.
is from Darnell Harper. He said, self-respect is kind of a self-care. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm struggling. Self-respect is a kind of self-care that everyone should have. But people need to understand the difference between self-respect and ego.
Oh,
Yes.
well, I think that's a perfect turn into what I wanted to talk to. Thank you. What's his name again?
Darnell
Darnell
Harper.
Harper.
Darnell, that was a good one. Let's talk about the ego.
That
of a
Mr.
man.
Harper, he's been on the show before. Huh? Is that the
Mr.
one?
Harper loves the show.
Mhm.
I love him too. So let's talk about ego, and we'll talk about the man's ego. I'm turning to two men right here.
What about it?
Why y'all get caught up on or do men get caught up on the ego when the woman is in a place of feeling good about herself, or she feel good? You may not understand where she's at. Y'all getting y'all ego? Because I mean,
When the way you using the word is what I'm concerned about.
oh,
You using it as this ego is it's an insecuritiness.
I
or
know
something
I'm
like
using
that.
the word ego as it is. Take it how you want to
Okay.
take it.
How do you reflect ego?
I don't think ego is bad.
There you go.
We assign a negative to many words.
Mhm.
Like the word power. Power isn't bad.
That's not bad.
It's the context in which power is used that makes it bad. So I don't think ego is bad. I think when you mismanage, once again, going back to what I said earlier, season awareness, when you mismanage, say it ego, say it pride, say it whatever, that's when it's bad. And so I want to hear more about, I want you to dive deep into your question so I can dissect it more.
So when I talk about ego, I'm talking about how sometime with ego, and I'm going to use the bad and then I'll go into the good. You know, sometime when a woman, I'll just look at these ladies over, these young ladies over here. They're simply gorgeous. They were here. They showed up early. I'm sure they have a significant other in their life. They share with their significant others. I'm going on a radio show. I'm going on LV with Val. So they prepping, getting ready. They've been talking about it all week, whatever. And they may have gotten on their significant other's last nerve. And their significant other is not here. Do you feel left out when they are moving along, males, moving along on their path and their journey and the things that they like to do?
No.
Okay.
I'm not that insecure.
Okay.
I can't see you doing things that you want to do in life. I can tell you that right off the top. I'm not. I did say that insecure. I didn't say I was not insecure, period. I said I'm not that insecure. Well, I can't let you just thrive and be your own individual.
Okay.
You know, I'm secure enough in me that I can allow you or let you
be a
be
pro.
you.
Let me be me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let you. I'm not.
But that kind of sound a little.
No, I took allow you out and I said let you be you.
Okay. All right. I like that too.
Words mean something.
It means something.
Yes.
Okay. So for you, with that being said,
do you think?
do you think? Okay. So, but there are some brothers.
Yes,
That's not
yes,
ego. I think there's insecurity.
I think
What is that?
That was my balloon. It's some haters in it. Y'all, the birthday is getting close. It's getting close. Y'all heard the pop back in the back. That is not a gunshot. They are getting ready for my birthday. Okay. Yeah.
So I think more ego. You know, ego comes more for feeling better about yourself. Well, ego, in my knowledge, in my mind, is a confidence. I'm on the basketball court, and I'm just doing them boys in. Ego kicks in, and that means my confidence has risen to an all-time high. You can't stop me right now.
I don't feel that.
That's ego for me.
For you, okay. Yeah. So it's never about you trying to
dominate.
Well,
I'm
if it's a go there now, I'm glad. Thank you, baby. Come on.
Glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I think it's a good point.
I'm going back to what Ann was saying from Colombia. That she said something about dimming the light.
Okay.
you know, and I'm a firm believer in let every light shine as bright as it can.
That's right.
You know, I don't try to dim my light, and I'm not gonna try to dim your light.
There you go.
You know, unless competitor. You know, I might dim your light
On the
if
basketball.
you're trying to come at me about something.
Okay.
My ego gonna kick in, and then your light gonna have to get dimmed at this point.
Brother Carter,
But
it's interesting you brought up competitor because I'm gonna speak on that when you're done talking.
Yeah. But intentionally just trying to just not let somebody shine. Just trying to just put somebody down to keep yourself lifted up.
That is not who you
That's a egotistic.
Y'all know he make up all kind of words.
That's a problem. That's an egoistic.
Don't act like y'all don't know what he's talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all know what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean that become an egoistical problem right there.
And then y'all cannot find it in Webster. That's okay. They go add it to Webster. That's my man, and don't act like you can't find it. Yes. Come on, Abigail. Aaron.
So I had a question for y'all, and anyone can pick this up. Do you think our ego gets in the way when it comes to self-care? Because I see like a lot of times like, oh, just pushing through when you feel the anxiety, and like a lot of times we'll tell ourselves like, I'm fine, or we're doing good, or like I'll keep chugging until I burn out, right?
Mhm.
So do you think it's our pride or our ego that kind of gets in the way of self-care?
Oh, I'm gonna turn it over here to the person that deals with that. Come on.
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, just like it goes with, you can have ego in a positive way and you can have ego in a negative way. So if you, let's say, if you're not kind of like checking yourself, or if somebody maybe doesn't check you, then it definitely can get in the way, because if it becomes ego in the negative way, then you're only thinking about you, then you're only doing your luxuries, you're only doing what you think is good for your self-care without really being aware that it might not be the best things, right? So then we go into ego in the positive way, where you're like, I have to take care of me, I know I have to meditate, I need to feel good in order to do this in a good way. And so it's just, again, it goes with balance, and it goes with how really are you understanding even the word ego. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Did that answer your question?
Ego can get in the way.
Okay.
Yes.
For sure.
I'm sitting over here and I
Now,
really-
let me get next question real quick.
Okay, go
Is
ahead.
ego? Is it a male thing or a female thing, or is it?
No, we all have
We all
egos.
have it.
Women have
Yes,
egos.
we have
also?
egos.
We have
Yes.
egos, but I
You
think
didn't know that?
we're more in control of our egos than
You
men.
didn't know that? We have ego. Oh, look, come on, get it. Look how you sit back.
What does a woman's ego look like?
Oh, well,
Ooh.
You never heard
Ooh.
Beyonce song, I
Yeah.
Got a Huge Ego?
you don't
Yeah.
understand it?
Artist,
Now,
yeah.
see, okay, Beyonce and what's that?
No,
Like,
Beyonce-
I'm gonna say Mariah Carey or Jennifer Lopez. I feel like those are big artists, female artists that have very big egos, because you talk sometimes like to their fans or people who have worked around them, and they're like, oh, they're very mean, they don't want you to do this, or like they barely even say good morning, and like those are egos of women who I feel like have become negative because of their fame and their popularity, maybe the money, who knows, they get in their heads.
Okay.
Versus
That's another word for that is asshole.
Yes.
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 You wanted to keep going on that?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I think maybe like positive artists, maybe I will go with.
I see what you're saying.
That's a hard
though.
one for me.
Yeah.
We do have egos.
I see
yes.
where
We
you're going
have
with this.
egos, and here's the thing.
I don't appreciate Marcus over there looking at me. You ain't know that.
Come on, Marcus.
Yeah,
You can
'cause
too.
we act like only only men do this and only women do this.
Yeah.
And there's no, we're all human.
Human.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you're gonna experience human emotions and
Yeah.
so no one
See-
group of people do just one thing.
Yeah. I'm living to see. I brought
Come
up
on.
in a different.
Come on
time.
now, give it. There you
And,
go.
you know where
That era.
You know, the era I grew up in. You know, women didn't have the ego.
Well, they had it.
Yeah.
They had it.
No, you had to hush your mouth
No,
back
we-
then.
no. See, that ain't
yeah,
fit.
you had to hush your mouth
No,
back then
baby.
because the man didn't take that noise slap back then. But now y'all get to talk back.
See?
Y'all get to say how
Different
you
generations,
feel.
Brother Carter.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's what
God.
I'm saying.
Okay, but you gotta come out of that. You was okay, baby. You was a
I
child
had
back in
to
the.
come up. Look who I married to. I had to come out of that.
Because she
Yeah.
is not shedding.
That ain't happening.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's just a different era that,
But he wants some of this here. Come on, just jump in.
Like for example, if we're married and you ask me, babe, how do I look? That's a question off rip, rooted in your ego. Because whatever, if I say something negative, it's gonna impact how you feel.
Yes.
And you want me to tell you the truth, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But if
But you don't want to hear the truth. You want to hear what
The-
you
what the
wanna
ego
hear.
wants to
Because
do.
what you
What the
you
ego
have to, you want me to feed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're trying to use me to help you feed something you should feel about yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
And I love what this brother just said here. Y'all heard that? So I used to be that girl.
Mm.
Now, Brother Carter, and he know it's been a while. I don't come out and say what you think. He don't know what I'm wearing. When we stepping out, he don't know it till I walk out in the living room. He's waiting on me. I don't ask, what do you think I should wear? How does this look? When I step out, I'm ready.
Mhm.
Because I've already looked in that me. I've done a self-evaluation
Yes.
of who I am. What I want to look at, my friend, everything is there. But I used to be that insecure girl that was so broken down. I needed validation from everything around me. And I never really got that validation. And what happens when you're looking for validation, you get the total opposite
Yes.
because of what you think you need. So I'm glad you
What
said
you
that.
think you need. I think an important thing with ego is to remind ourselves that ego is very mental,
Yes.
very with your mind. It's about the I.
Yes.
About the I.
Mhm.
So if your ego, let's go with, if it's insecure ego and you're always looking for that outward validation, you're always going to end up with people who are as insecure as you,
Ooh.
or are going to be telling you the insecurities that you think already in your
Or
head
that
and
they
they're gonna
have.
yes, or that they have.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Ooh, that is so
Yes.
good. Abigail is about to go crazy over here because she keep waving this card and come on, question.
So the question is,
Before we get to the
Wait,
questions, we're gonna
before
get
we
your
get to the
okay.
question.
There you go.
what do you do when you are insecure about how you feel about yourself, how you look about yourself, and then you ask and you with someone that's insecure, like you were just saying, and they feed you with more insecuritiness. What do you do for yourself
Ooh,
at this point?
that's a good question.
I haven't been there in a long time.
Okay.
Let me see. When I was insecure and I had other insecurities.
And you had someone that you were
Yeah.
with that's insecure.
What you had to do?
Yeah.
What did you have to do to pull yourself out of this situation, or to make yourself feel
Like, okay, I can make
I'm not so bad.
Yeah, I think it goes back to venting and talking to someone that truly knows you, or maybe going to the therapist and like letting them know, like, I just feel maybe insecure about this thing. And like, before I did therapy, I would talk to my sister all the time. So my sister is like my best friend. She's my confidant in everything. And so she will tell me like, but Anna, I feel like you're maybe overthinking about this, and like you're this type of woman and everything, and you can accomplish what you say, or like you can just be as beautiful as you want to be today. Let's say it like that. I think it goes with acknowledging that feeling of insecureness and trying to like process and see where it's coming from. Because at the end of the day, we have no reason to be insecure unless we are comparing ourselves or trying to get ahead of ourselves, and or even trying to be someone that we are not.
Come on
Okay.
now.
So,
Come on
yeah.
now. Okay.
Any attitudes?
You want to jump on it?
We'll go
Anybody want?
first.
Yeah, I can jump on it. So I'm gonna follow back on what Anna just said. Basically, you got to be more secure in yourself. If you're comparing yourself to other people, that can definitely make you insecure. Or you're looking at what other people are doing and then you're comparing it to what you're doing. That's an easy way for you to fall into that dag. Maybe I'm not doing enough, or everyone looks so perfect online. Why am I waking up and I don't have any imperfections? And that's one thing I don't like about online, is because people only show what they want you to see.
Come on now.
And that's a horrible way for you to compare yourself to that, because just know if you see one picture, it could have been about 16, 20 before they
They
posted
that one
that one.
picture.
Yeah.
There you
So don't compare yourself to other people. Their path is not your path. What they do is not what you do. And it's not supposed to be that way. You're supposed to work on you, focus on you so that your path can be different. That's what sets us apart. We're not all supposed to be the same because what fun would that be? You know, if we all were the same, like that would be super boring. So you have to look at that and say, I'm different, and I'm different in a good way. And that will take away your insecurities because, you know, you don't want to be somebody else.
that
You want to be
No.
yourself.
That was so good.
There was a
yourself.
question posed to me a long time ago. Who would you want to be? If you can be anybody in life, who would you want to be?
Myself.
Somebody asked you that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what did you say?
And
I say, what was your response to that?
and I had to think on it for a second, and I was thinking outside of myself at first. But then it came to me, I wouldn't want to be nobody other than who I am.
There
I
you go.
wouldn't want to be nobody but Lawrence Carter Jr.
Yeah, come on now.
Mhm.
Tell them. Tell them.
That's the best version of anything I can be for myself, is to be myself.
Yes.
There you go. I know you wanted some of this. Come on. I love it.
You funny. No, I like what you say, Anna. I'm a firm believer in vetting. You have to vet your feelings.
You have to.
Mhm.
Just because you feel like something don't, your feelings aren't. That's not Bible. It's not set in stone. And how many times have we trusted our feelings and been wrong?
That's emotions.
You
Yeah.
picked the wrong person. I just feel like, sir, she don't want you like that, ma'am. But I just feel like you try to manipulate yourself into a situation.
Come on now.
And secondly, I'm getting old. I'll be forgetting stuff.
Yeah.
To your question of how you insecure and you with somebody who's insecure.
Mhm.
And this is my personal position. You guys may disagree. Nobody can make you feel like anything technically.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You make me feel like
No.
you're in control of your own emotions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So no, you can't make me feel like anything.
Mhm.
I'll choose it. Now, if someone's parent die, of course you really can't control not crying.
Right.
Mhm.
But anything besides that sector, you can't make me feel like nothing.
Yeah.
Because I
chose.
choose.
I used to tell my wife this all the time. She used to get angry about different things with different people and stuff like that. And I was like, why do you let somebody enter into this here?
Yes.
This is you.
Mhm.
This is all you. Well, how do they have control over who you are?
Mhm.
You cannot go through life allowing people outside of yourself to dictate who and how you're gonna feel in life.
Yep.
And to go back to I don't mean to take over the show. I know Abigail have a question now, but I just want to give a little light to comparing yourself.
Mhm.
Well, we were talking about comparing yourself to other people. I'm scripturally based. I know scriptures in the Bible, and I do understand that when God made me, He didn't make another just me. When He made you, He made you. But at the end of the day, He made us all with a flaw.
Mm.
I don't care if you're 6'9", built to the nines. Something wrong with you somewhere. You got a fault somewhere. So I look at people like that in life, and I don't. So it keep me from comparing myself to someone outside of myself, because we all have
Issues.
stuff we got to work on. We all are imperfect, so to speak. So when I look at someone, I don't see perfect.
And you don't
And
see,
make myself
I want to
imperfect.
be this person.
I see another imperfect individual. That makes sense.
That makes
Yes.
a lot of sense.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you said that, and I'm going to jump on that a little more and then I'm going to go to the questions. I used to get so angry at Lawrence when he would say that. How do you let somebody else in your space and affect you? It's kind of like when I used to hear them say, "You just got to forgive. You just got to forgive." When I would hear people say, "You just got to forgive," it's like, how can I forgive someone that's been so mean to me? And I wore that as a badge of honor. When I finally got what that was for, it wasn't about them. It was about me. And so also when he said to me, and he said it for a long time, how do you let somebody that don't matter get on the inside of you
Yeah.
and tell you how you feel and dictate how you gonna respond. That's about you giving control over to someone else.
Yeah.
And nobody deserves the control over
I can
this.
see if it's me now. You know, we've
Well,
been together
nobody.
40 years. I can understand
Well-
you being affected by something I say or
Yes,
do. you
yes,
know.
yes, yes.
But
That's
some people outside of that, really, you're not going to see for another 10 years until somebody die in the family or something like that. You ain't going to see them no more until something like that happens.
right,
Yeah.
How
right.
do you let that affect you? That's troubling to me.
Well, I think that happens because again, that's working on your emotions, your self-esteem, your lack of ego, all of those things. And I'm speaking for myself because all of those things that I was lacking, I couldn't even hear the positive that you were trying to give me and where you're trying to help me because I needed to have that stuff fixed on the inside. And when you get to that place, now you've been around people and they saw how you operated. And when you change, you look different to them. And so before we go to the questions, I'm going to ask when you started to change to others, how did they look and how did they receive you? Because it happened.
At the end of the day,
Well,
I know I'm going to let them go.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, you know, I'm not going to change the way Coco is.
No,
Just hear me out. Just hear me out. I'm not going to change the way you are. So when I interact with you, I know who you are, but I have to remain who I am. So I'm not going to but you're a beautiful person. You're a beautiful, nice person. You ain't going to say nothing nasty, but we encounter people like that in our lives that always have something negative or nasty to say to us in life because they just they're trying to pick their own selves up. You know, they're trying to pick their own selves up by putting you down. And so that individual, it can affect you if you hearing it over and over and over again.
So my question goes back to how do you, thank you, baby. I understand what you're saying. How do you flip that script? How do you deal with that when that change is happening? You've started to change. You don't see yourself as this broke down person, but you've been with this person, but they're seeing something different in you. And maybe they're not liking it because they're no longer controlling it or they don't have the change is happening. How do you deal with that?
So I've always grew up on the saying, when you're changing, sometimes you have to change people, places, and things. What I mean by that, if you're trying to grow into something different, or I'll say elevate into something different, you can't hang or spend your time or give energy to the same thing that you used to be and what you're trying to grow from. If you know that you're trying to, like for me, elevate as an entrepreneur, and I've never been like a party person. I've never been like a club girl or anything like that. But I have friends who are, which is fine. I love that about them. I'll go out sometimes. But then I know in the back of my head, I also need a group of friends who has the same mindset as me, who wants more, who thinks about a future, who thinks about longevity, basically. And it's not about cutting old people off and acting brand new. It's just about leveling your life out and knowing what to give your time to. So I guess like answering your question is you got to find balance in your own life. You got to understand what you need to give energy to, who you need to spend your time around, because I think I said this on the last show. If you're constantly spending time with that type of person, it has an effect on you. You'll start doing the same behaviors which you're around all the time. So just be smart. The people you hang around, I'm not saying they're a reflection of you, because that's not always true. It depends, but just be aware of what you're giving your energy to. So, you know, your self-awareness.
I love that.
Self-awareness goes for self-care. Yeah.
Okay. And
I like what you said about, I'm paraphrasing, so forgive me. Essentially, repositioning people. In different seasons of your life, you're gonna have to reposition people. It doesn't mean they're evil.
Doesn't mean that they're bad.
God still loves them.
Yeah.
You're not you're gonna be prosperous. However, I have to change your seat in this
season.
And I shouldn't be, because part of self-care is knowing who to put in the right seat at the right time.
There you
Just
go.
like being a good coach. Growing up, you'll play sports and you'll be captain. I got him. Other cat, he'll choose somebody else. I got him. Because okay, bro tall, he can get to and he fast. He maybe
Mhm.
he not as
Mhm.
tall.
Yeah.
He not as
You
tall,
got
but he
to
can
Yeah.
know him when.
You
Okay,
got to know what to
Yeah.
position yourself around to get to the end of the.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that. That was real good.
I think that
Come
goes
on.
back into boundaries, right?
Mhm.
Like knowing what role a certain person might play in your life.
Mhm.
And just because a person played a role for a while in your life, that doesn't mean that they're always going to play that role.
Yeah.
You may not
It
need
changes.
that kind of support or that person or that role in your life anymore either.
Yes.
So I think that kind of goes back to boundaries.
Let's get these questions in
Yes.
here.
Let
We
me
got a lot
spit,
of.
let me spit one more thing before y'all do that.
We got a lot of
before
We got
I
a lot of
forget.
questions.
I know, and we got time for
Mm.
it. So,
He's so petty.
so in this journey called life, there are certain people that just gonna be in your life, and they both positive and negative. How do you protect yourself in the midst of people that you go to work every day and you got this person at work every day that you got to go to work with every day that's always so negative.
Mhm.
You can't remove that person from your life unless you remove yourself from that job.
Mhm.
Right.
You got this person in the family that you just can't stand to be around this individual. But if we having some kind of function or something of that nature, and you got to bring yourself to the table, how are you going to present yourself to this place? And that's the question.
I love that. And if you guys, you can jump on it, but I love that. I think you have to choose how you interact with that person,
Yes.
period.
Mhm.
Because it has, yes, I have to go to work. That person, I have no control over whether or not that person is going to stay.
Yeah, I'm just
in
hoping
Florida
they get
not.
fired or something.
Yeah, I don't have no control over that. But here's what I have control over is how and when I'm going to interact with that person.
Yes.
And so holding on, stay in control of me. And then in the family, where in the family does it mean that where do I have to, because your family, you get a pass of treating me badly and I have to continue to interact with you? Absolutely not. The only thing that I have to do, just like I have to do with the person I work with, I have to show respect. I have to show grace. And then more importantly, I protect my space. So I choose how I show up and how I deal with individuals. And I want to make sure that I'm in a healthy place so that I can. And if that person just triggers me all the time, then I choose not to be in that person's space. That's my opinion.
That's boundaries.
That's boundaries.
Boundaries.
That's it. You have anything to say about
Yeah,
that?
and I tell people this all the time. I don't control how good you are to me or not good you are to me. I just control how I respond to you not being good to me or to you being good to me.
Right.
And how I respond to you says more about me
There you go.
than it does about you.
Mm.
And I've learned, to your question, Brother Carter, is there are certain thorns that you just have to manage.
Mhm.
It ain't gonna go away.
It ain't going away.
It's just some folks you're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah.
There you go.
You gotta learn how to deal with them.
Yeah.
Mhm. You have to learn, and you have to choose for yourself so that you are doing some self-care, which is not selfish. You have to say every time, because I have to deal with this person, but every time I go around this person, they're going to do something to trigger me. Since I already know that, then I need to manage how I deal with that person.
You need them to be less triggered because
Yeah.
you know they're gonna trigger you.
Well,
So I'm already coming into the situation like, you know what? I already know what you finna do. So you're not finna come into my space.
well,
like that.
that to me, that's more about.
That's my
Say-
ego.
Yeah, that is. It's y'all heard him say it. He admitted it on the Love and Security show with
That's
Val.
my ego.
That's your ego. You have to go into a place saying, yes, you know who that person is, but it's about you taking control over how you're going to handle that individual, that situation. You get no control over here. Hello, how you doing? I'll be respectful. Or I may choose not to go because every time I'm around you or you around,
You gotta know something
it's
negative.
an issue. So do I want to put myself in an unhealthy environment? For what? I'm not doing it.
And sometimes you have to look at when somebody's trying to insult you or something of that nature. I have this thing I do. I look at where the source is coming from.
That's you.
I'm just saying, I'm
Yeah.
giving advice.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
This is free advice I'm trying to
Yeah.
give you. You know, if I look at where the source is coming from, somebody going to say I've got a big stomach or something like that, in which I know my stomach is bigger than it need to be, but I look at the source of who's saying it. It's always somebody with a stomach bigger than yours.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah. Yes. I love that. So
it's always coming from someone they talking about themselves, but they want to put it on you.
Project it on you.
So,
I love
so
that.
be
That's-
careful, you know, when people try to say something about, about you.
Yes.
Look at that individual.
Okay, then. Come on, Abigail. She about to go stone crazy over here, y'all.
We
Give it to.
have a lot of questions.
Okay.
And a lot of them are kind of similar. So I'm going to be blending them together just to
Okay.
kind of make a little bit more sense. So we had one, I'm going to read two questions again, kind of the same vein to kind of blend them
And please
together.
give the people's names. They
Yes,
gave.
for sure. So this one is from Matthew Corey on Facebook.
Hey,
Mhm.
Matthew.
Hey, Matthew.
He said, is it possible that insecurity can become your habit? And I kind of want to blend that with the question from Guillermo Watson on YouTube.
Hey, Guillermo.
He said, what is being self-conscious and does it relate to self-care?
Oh,
Oh,
So yeah, we're talking about insecurity. Can it become a bad habit and how does that relate to self-care?
Mhm.
I'm gonna throw that to you because you over here. She ready for this one. Come on.
Yes, so insecurity can become a bad habit because if you are not checking that insecurity, it becomes who you are.
Amen.
So you do have to get your insecurities checked because there's nothing for us to be insecure about. Just like I love how you guys bring God into everything and it's beautiful. And just like that, God did not make us to be insecure. It's the things we're watching. It's the thing we're comparing ourselves to. It's the things that are out in society that are making us feel insecure, because at the end of the day, we're all unique. We're all lovely people. We're all lovely souls here on this earth. And we are unique souls for a reason. So if you are insecure, it is because you're definitely thinking outside of yourself. You're not thinking within.
Oh,
Yeah.
And let me put a plug on that for real quick there. You know, I like to drop some nuggets in.
come on.
But we are insecure because the first man became insecure after eating of the fruit, unforbidden fruit called a man named Adam. And when God went looking for him after he ate it, he hid himself in the woods and tried to cover himself because he became insecure because of the knowledge of what he know. And so we are born with insecuritiness. It's how we can manage or control the insecuritiness in our lives.
Oh, very good. I like that.
You know,
Anybody else have any?
that's the unlicensed version. We usually have licensed counselors on the show that really that's the unlicensed version.
Okay.
I have another question about insecurity that I think we can kind of throw in there as well. This one's from Christina Kruger on Facebook.
Hey,
Yeah,
Christina.
And she is a fan of the
Yes, she
Victory
is.
Show.
We love
She's
you.
always commenting. She said, was there any person or thing that made you insecure?
Yes.
I'll put my yes, and yes, and yes.
Adam.
Well, you can say Adam. I'm gonna make it even more personal. My classmates, even starting off in school, my classmates, even some family members. You know, I was always taller than most of the girls in my classmates. You know, I had the big head, the big eyes. But y'all see me now. But anyway, all of those things that they picked apart.
Yeah.
So I had the gap. I had all of those things. And yes, it made me insecure. So I would say my classmates and those very things that made me insecure, God helped
You
me
made
to
it a
see.
quality.
God helped me to see that is my quality, that is my beauty, that is who he made me. That's the uniqueness of who I am. And so I love the big head, the big eyes,
And the gap.
and the gap.
She still had a gap.
And I
now
refuse to
y'all
get-
haters that thought y'all was gonna make her change that and get her teeth fixed, she ain't do it.
No, I did not. That is
And she
who I-
won't.
And she won't. And I think that when we own that beauty, I can go out there and get. I have good dental. I can go get it. But this is who I am, and I'm okay with who I am. I'm not going to do something to make someone else outside of me feel better about being
Amen.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
For me it happened in school too. I grew up very chubby and I was overweight on all the time. I got
What?
you're so fine. blah,
You,
blah, blah."
you,
Yeah.
girl, look at her now. Y'all see, put the camera on. Let's see, watch your friends talking about people.
Yeah. So I went through a little bit of bullying too.
Mhm.
And that can make
Oh, I went through a lot of
child-
bullying.
Yeah, that can make a child very insecure.
Mhm.
So when you're now an adolescent and a teenager and you're a young adult and you're kind of overcoming that, I feel like sometimes for me, that's when like I was like, I hit the ground, right? Like, oh, I'm like super cute now. I'm super pretty. And I had that validation, but then
You hit a wall.
yes, exactly. I hit a wall because, I now have the exterior validation but what's going on with my inside now?
Mhm.
So then
Because those things
yes.
kind of stick with you.
And they
Yes.
come back, and
they
here's
come
the.
back.
So when I hit a wall too.
Yeah.
And when I hit that wall, the good thing is God reminded me again.
Mhm.
Remember that girl,
Yes.
that young woman that came out and saw, and you were like, hey, I have to go back. I have
Did
to
you
go
have
back
a
there.
nickname? Did y'all have a nickname as a kid?
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, for my family, yes, like a cute nickname.
what was yours?
Yeah. Mine was Tatona.
Tatona.
I don't know where it came from, honestly. My
Tatona.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, what does that
Yeah,
mean
or
in
Tata.
English?
Tata. I just like I don't know. I guess it's just like baby Anna.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know. It's
sweet.
like a very
What was your
nickname, yeah.
What was my husband's nickname?
You had a nickname, bro?
Yeah, Tiffy.
Oh,
Because I played baseball at the park, and some of the people that worked in the concession, they called me Tiffy.
why they
Okay.
called you
Cause my,
T?
'cause my teeth wasn't.
They weren't right.
They was
No,
trying-
I got braces right now.
Oh,
I'm trying to get right.
You trying to get them right? Okay, then.
Yeah.
Okay,
That affected you, huh?
that's okay. But watch
I
it.
It's okay.
I just remember.
It's okay.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
okay. It's okay. Cause I was coming up in school, man. I had acne real bad
Mhm.
as a young lad, and the kids would call me Scales.
Mm.
Fish
You're a
scales.
man.
Make me want to cry right now.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna listen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, OG. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, they used to call
That's
it.
hilarious.
They used to call it. Yeah, but it wasn't hilarious the way, and that was literally his name when we started dating. They would call that
Yeah.
Scales. But imagine walking around with that as a
But
child.
I turned it around because I'm a Libra, and I said, well, that's why I'm Scales, because I'm on Libra scale.
Okay,
No,
then.
it's not worse than being called Lester, the child. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
I don't even want to say last.
Oh,
word.
we can't even say that. That's cold.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to add to that because I feel like when it comes to insecurity, like the way to overcome that and to win is to kind of make fun of yourself. And I feel like that's how I kind of overcame it, right? Like you can't hurt me if I've already said that about me.
Mhm.
And I feel like it's important for us to like look at ourselves and recognize our own faults, whether it be physical or maybe it's something in your personality or like who you are. If you recognize your own flaws and you are aware of that, then people can't hurt you because they're just telling you what you
Well,
already know.
Well, I think it's not necessarily that they can't hurt you. Here's the thing, because it still hurts. You just have to get to a place of accepting who you are, the
Yes.
beautiful person that you are, that may not line up with how other people see you.
Yes.
So with that being said, we had some other questions.
We have more questions.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to, again, kind of blend some because there are a lot that I think can kind of tie together.
Mhm.
So I'm going to do two questions that kind of go together. Neville Washington, and he is always watching the show. So thank you, Neville.
Thank you, Nell.
Over on YouTube, he said, "What do you do when you get caught up in ego?" And I really want to tie this to another question from Asia Chan.
Asia.
I think is how you say that, from
Asia.
YouTube. She said, "How do y'all handle arguments or disagreements, especially when it gets heated?" And again, I'm tying that to a question about ego because I think that's where a lot of arguments come from. Yeah.
I'll let y'all start over there, then we'll come up here and finish.
You wanna
Come on,
start?
baby.
You professional.
I just started out. Okay, so Asia says, how do you handle arguments and disagreements, especially when it gets heated? So,
And dealing with your ego.
right, okay.
Because they done hit your ego when they
Yeah.
threw something out there.
I mean, kind of depends on you as a person and how far you're willing to take an argument. Some people don't really give it a lot of energy. You know, you might have one partner that's willing to keep going and arguing, and there's never a solution. You're just arguing in a circle, and what is that actually doing? Which can actually make the argument get heated because no one's trying to talk about how we can solve this situation. So I would say put your ego aside, just try to be the bigger person and maybe calm the
not
situation
easy to
down.
do.
Mm.
Which is not easy to do when you're heated.
Especially when your ego is
Yeah, Brother
involved.
Carter, I agree.
You ain't gonna
But-
shut my mouth right now.
Okay, who gonna take it next? I hear you. Okay.
Well, I think it's a lot of recognizing that if you are arguing and you're disagreeing, it's not a place where you should continue talking back and forth. I was kind of talking about this the other day. It's like if one person in the relationship is like yelling and flustered and just, in rageful mode, blaming them or whatever, and the other person is calm,
That's
it's
just
like this.
pissing them off more.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because they want to get a reaction out of you at the end of the day. And a reaction out of you goes with ego.
Right.
Right? With egos that are mad, that are going to get offended. Sometimes even you can be in arguing and the other person just wants a reaction out of you that they're going to forget that what they're talking about and what they're mad about and just try to get you to react the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you have to definitely be so self-aware that you need to, you know what? I think I'm going to take a break. You need to go calm down. If that pisses them off, whatever pisses them off. But you need to be self-aware enough to get yourself out of there. To get yourself in a moment where like, okay, I can't really talk to them right now. We're not going to get anywhere. We're just going to keep yelling at each other if I choose to react, especially because that's reacting is all from the ego.
At some point in your life, you have to realize you actually, when you get in a heated argument with someone and nobody's hearing each other,
Exactly.
you actually might as well turn around and start talking to the wall.
Exactly.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
that's what you're talking to. You're
Yes.
talking to a brick wall right now. So you're actually arguing with your own damn self.
Exactly.
You know.
One of the things, I'm sorry, before we go, I'm gonna let you have
Yeah,
things
yeah,
and then we're gonna have our
Well, for one, I don't argue with people.
It takes too much energy.
It's a lot.
And especially if it's like a woman or whatever, voices don't get above this level. We're not cursing. I'm a easy going person. It's a babe. Can I talk to you right quick? Sure. Hey, well, you did this earlier. Oh, really? My bad. I'm sorry. Or if it's me, hey, are you in a proper space to talk right now? You are? Okay. Hey, you come home.
Yeah.
Hey, just give me 10 minutes before we start doing this. It don't have to be. I'm not saying this. It's going to be conflict. That's life.
Yeah. I think for me, and since the question, I'm going to go back. How do we handle arguments or disagreements? And
keep it real, man.
I'm gonna
Keep it real.
100% real. 45 years in, and that has changed a lot for us. It's an up and down thing. One of the things that I found to be very effective for me is that when I see a conversation or a disagreement is going to the left, I'm exiting left too. I am not going to engage. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to get into a debate because you cannot take those words back. And literally, I have been in situations, we've had disagreements that if we stay in there too long, you're going to say something and you can't get it back and you feel horrible. So when we have a disagreement, I am the first one to exit the room. Would you say that's the truth?
Hey, Don James. And also, if you can, please don't slam the door because you might knock some pictures off the wall and break something. Just ease up on the slam.
Just go walk out the room.
Walk out the room. Just don't slam the door.
But here's the thing. I appreciate that, and here's the thing that I love.
That's why we keep it real on this show.
That's what I love about Lawrence and I. And I think that's our success in our relationship is that we're honest. We deal with it. You guys get the Love and Victory show now that God has put us on this platform. We are so transparent because we want to help everybody.
I told
through
too
it.
much of my business on this show.
That's okay, but God is, and through that we feel it's been a healing for us.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have situations that sometimes emotions are going to get
In the way.
Sometimes egos are going to get in the way. When you're going to get a sense of, oh, this is going too far. Step back.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yeah, and don't
Leave
slam the
room.
door.
And like Brother Carter say, okay, baby, I promise you I'm going to work on not slamming the door. But anyway, just a full transparency. You have to just walk away.
Yeah.
So that's been healthy for us. That's been really good. And and you're going to have disagreements. And I pray, are you married?
No, I aspire to.
You will be one day. I'm going to say this to you. When two imperfect people come together, you will have disagreements. Okay. And it's how you deal with those disagreements. Don't shut her down. Don't shut her out. Y'all figure out a way that y'all can communicate effectively. Sometimes you may have to just go take a ride.
Yes.
But you got to come back and deal with it. It never goes away. You got to deal with it. If you think just not talking about it is going to fix the problem, it's not. It's still there. And I'm a person that have to have resolution. So sometimes I drive Brother Carter crazy because I'm coming back to it. We're going to deal with it again until we get some closure.
And again and again.
He is so petty.
Again.
Okay.
And in the context of relationships, I have my next two questions kind of paired together. So the first one is from Sandy Park on YouTube.
Hey, Sandy.
I seen you had Don James up there too.
Yeah, we're going to go back to it.
That one wasn't a question. I think it was just
Shout out.
a shout out. Yeah.
All right.
Sandy Park says, as a parent, do you think self-care might be a selfish thing? And I'm going to tie that into where to go.
As a parent.
There was one about relationships. I just lost. Oh, there it is. From Mary K. Height on Facebook.
Hey, Mary Kay.
In a relationship, how does self-care work? So I tied these two together to say, like, how can you balance your self-care when you have children or you're in a committed relationship?
Self-care can be selfish when you're a parent. If you say, I ain't got time for them damn kids, and then, you know, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm just keeping it honest.
Yeah, that's okay, bro. That's right.
Yeah, that it can be a problem. Go ahead.
Okay.
I didn't say it my piece.
Oh, okay. Well, how you balance it is, it's nothing wrong with you taking time, take care of your kids, take care of your family, take care of your relationship. But I think it's good in the relationship to find an area that's your oasis where you can kind of relax it. So my backyard, our backyard is our oasis. My husband loves a good cigar. He loves to just kind of get him a cocktail. We go sit in the backyard and we just kind of either have the game on or we're listening to music. And I just give me a cocktail and we just vibe there. That's self-care for us. It's not always going out to a club or somewhere else. It's just find your oasis, find that thing that makes you happy, that happy place. It's not always spending money.
Yeah. And sometimes more self-care for me is more about finding a place of peace, you know, versus dressing up or
Chaos.
looking well on the outside. And self-care for me personally is just finding a place of restitude, a place where you just can say, you know, everything is all right. I can look around
Just appreciate
and I can just thank God just looking around, you know, at your car, in your house, and you know where God has brought you from to where you are today. And, you know, and I find peace in that. And just everything is cool, man. This is cool.
Yeah.
All righty then. That's good.
And then the next two questions that I have paired together, one is from John on YouTube. Was there
What's
any
up, John?
moment when you felt like you don't belong there or no one invites you? And I kind of paired this with another one from Terry Beck. Is it wrong to depend on someone? Because I think both of these are kind of talking about
That's
how
good.
other people's actions can make you
You
feel.
feel.
Yeah.
Well, Brother Carter don't think there's no room he don't belong in. He feel like he can go into any room. That's how Brother Carter feel. To answer the first question from John.
Have you ever felt like you didn't belong in a room? You don't.
Never.
If they invited you, you belong there. Or if
I'm there,
okay.
I belong there.
Did y'all hear him? That's why
You're there.
Okay.
Yeah,
If I'm there for a reason.
Okay.
If I'm there,
So you're not sitting around waiting on someone to say, glad to see you there. You're okay. You came in that room.
I'm there. Yeah, you know me.
Yeah, you know
Okay.
me. I love it.
And what's the second part of that question?
Is it wrong
Part
to
B.
depend on someone?
Yes. In my opinion, I'm just answering the direct question
For
from
you.
Terry.
Okay.
Yes, it's wrong to depend on other people outside of yourself.
For
When
self-care?
you're dependent on someone else to lift you up, to build you up, to pick you up from work, to any of these things, all them things lead to failure.
Yes.
Leads to failure. And no, do not know. I'm not depending on no one to do things for
You
me.
you don't depend on me to do nothing for you, baby.
No,
Nothing.
I mean, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. All right. I
Yeah,
love
but
that.
outside of that,
Okay.
you need someone to depend on at that
Yeah.
point.
Oh Lord, I
Okay,
wouldn't talk
moving
about
on.
that. Okay,
We'll
take
do,
it.
we'll do one kind of last subjective question, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. So a lot of people are kind of asking, what does self-care mean to you, and how is it selfish? Is it selfish? I'm gonna pop the questions up that are all kind of relevant to that, because
Okay.
a lot of people ask similar
Okay.
things, but that's kind of the main question, which I think can help wrap us up.
Okay.
What is self-care to you, and why is it selfish, or why isn't it selfish? Is
I
it
think
okay
that's
to
a
be
great way to
selfish?
end this show.
Let's do a round.
Okay,
And
we're
you
gonna
be the
start with
last one.
Coco.
Okay, so self-care to me is really, really taking care of myself mentally. Like, I actually have been in therapy now for about 3 years straight. I actually do therapy once a week. I do virtual because I actually still like my therapist back in Baltimore. I haven't met one here that I love yet for in person. But I will say it just means taking care of myself. Like, that kind of piggybacks to what I said before. If I'm not whole, or if I'm not, well put together, I can't really pour into my business. I can't pour into my family, my boyfriend, my mother, anyone around me if I'm not there. So I would just say, take care of yourself, whether it's exercising, whether it's taking a walk, walking your dog, just getting your mental together so that you can wake up every day and just feel somewhat whole, acknowledge yourself, be aware of your issues. Most of the time we're aware of what's going on in our life. We just try to block it out instead of just taking the step and just saying, hey, I'm aware of what's going on. Let me just try to take one step further in the right direction to fixing it. But self-care for me, a lot of people might say it's my skincare, it's going to get a facial, it's doing this. That's part of it, because I remember my therapist told me, she said, what makes you feel good temporarily? And I said, buying stuff. And she was like, now, after I get it, I swear by, I'm like, it goes away. The rush is gone. I'm like, what did I get that for? And no, I'm so serious, because we had a deep conversation, and I would buy
a lot
something.
of people like that, so I'm glad you said it.
Oh my gosh! I remember I bought a visor. It was $600, and I took it on the trip. And when I never wore it again, never, not even one time. So I was like, okay, the rush went away.
You can be diagnosed.
Right. So when I talk to her, I'm glad I'm aware of it now. Because now it's like, what are you doing it for? Like, clearly I'm trying to find something to fill another hole here, because it's just like, okay, now I can work on that issue.
That's no different than someone that's looking for that first high, that they got the first time.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
You're constantly chasing it. So like, I would just be in stores and I don't need this. Still getting it. So I'm aware of the issue. I have definitely came a long way from the issue. I'm not just, buying irrelevant things anymore. But that's what I mean by acknowledging what's wrong with you, because I was able to express that,
real good.
Very good
talk about it and grow from it.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. Okay. And I'm turning to you now.
She really let the hair down on
She
that.
did. That was it. I love
That's
that.
a great one.
Mhm.
Well, self-care to me right now, it means the activities and the actions that I'm doing to get myself whole again. So since for me, it's all within, and it goes with meditating, it goes with praying, it goes with maybe reading a book in the morning, it goes with maybe exercising in the morning, or just going for a walk, by yourself, really enjoying nature, being as present as I can be, so I can be as self-aware as I can be. And in self-care, I think it's an extension for me from your self-love. So if you are truly loving yourself and you understand how to love yourself, then you're taking proper care of yourself. It's not just about the shopping, or like a Coco said, like the makeup, the buying the things. No, it's about how you get yourself whole again, how to really now put yourself in a place where you're comfortable with who you are, when you're comfortable with taking care of who you truly want to be and are. And that can't really be selfish, because you're taking care of who you truly are and want to be. And if you are being that true person that you are, then you're coming at life and your family and your relationships from a very beautiful place that isn't really selfish at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to tell you why.
Wait, tell me. Go ahead.
No, and this is in my life, and I've been this way for years. I'm an old man at heart.
Mhm.
I'm 28, but I'm old man. You guys, my frat brothers. I'm an old man. I like to just sit down
Mm.
and smoke a cigar. That's why I hit you.
Yeah.
We got to get together. OG. I like sitting down somewhere.
Like a little quiet time.
Just
being.
Yeah.
and
Being.
just thinking and journaling or whatever, or watching a sermon or watching band videos or whatever the case. I just like sitting down, smoking me a stick, calling the birds up and
Just-
talking, just
being.
sitting down, being
Well,
still.
It seemed to me, getting to know you on the show here today, that you admire reading and stuff like that as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, anybody that been to as many schools as you've been to have to have done some reading.
Yes, sir.
I love that. I love that. I love that.
And so, and to answer why I disagree with you, everything you described about self-care and self-love is very selfish. And sometimes both of you, really all of us, really saying the same thing. Self-care has to be selfish sometimes because you have to look out for you, you know, and that's what you're doing. And you're doing this self-care. Whether you're taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, or whatever the case may be, you're just trying to find peace of mind. It's a selfish thing. It's a selfish act. Something you have to do for yourself.
For yourself.
You know,
But
self-care.
it's positive selfishness, though.
Yes.
Positive. Exactly.
Positive
Yes.
selfishness.
Yes. It's not like I don't care how you feel about nothing. I'm not doing nothing you say doing. I'm just doing what I want to do. Now that's selfish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, but if I'm trying to take care of myself, which is what you guys all explained that you're doing, trying to do something to take care of yourself, your mental state, your physical state of your mind. And so that is selfish. You have to be selfish to do that. So
Very good. Erin is going crazy because she want to jump in before they hear mine. Go ahead.
Well, it was more so a question. So,
Sure.
Because I don't know if it'll derail too much from the topic. So if you want to speak, go ahead.
No, go ahead, darling.
So like we're talking about, it's like, oh, I kind of have to be. But do you think we've gotten to a point, like maybe at least just in America, because that's our context and everything, but we've gotten to a point that we have to be like, do the self-love because we have to, because we're not doing it for each other.
Oh,
It's
that
the
was
self-love.
Self-love is self. And
okay.
so, and when I hear and I think of self-love, I can't think, and don't get me, please don't take this negative. I can't even start to do something for Coco if I haven't fixed me. And so doing something for someone else that is not in you is going to come off, in my opinion. It's not going to be genuine because I'm just doing. It's kind of like the person I used to be. I used to try to feel like I had to be real nice to everybody so they can see me. But I was still left broken. And so I don't do that anymore. What I do is I'm good here. I have to take care of here so that when I show up around beautiful people like you guys, I'm ready to pour into you. So that's, I hope that answers the
And
question.
just to answer your question.
I didn't answer?
Yeah, you did, but I
okay.
won't make it in layman's terms.
Okay.
So if I want to teach you something, okay, I have to first know what I'm teaching you. So you have to have self-love first so you can learn of something before you can actually let you use the word love. Okay. How can I love you if I had not loved myself? And so you have to learn what love is first. And then, and I agree with you 100%. The world needs to show more love to one another. We do need to do that. I hope we do that on the Love and Victory show with Val each and every Saturday from 8 to 10, but we're going over a little bit right now. But yes, to answer your question, yes, it starts with yourself, but it do eventually has to go out.
And it
to
won't
reach
go
someone
out.
else.
And honestly, again, it's not going to go out, guys, until it starts.
That's what I
you.
just said.
Right.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you really have to dig into you.
Yeah.
You have to work and get that crud out from
Yeah.
within you. so you
Yeah.
go out.
We on overtime
Definitely
right now.
understand.
Okay, baby, I got
That's your
this here.
co-host,
This,
so I had to let you know.
I appreciate y'all know, Brother Carter. I always like to have to. He the co-host. I am the host.
It's your
And-
co-host.
and
I
the
have to
good
let
thing,
you know you're
and
on
the good,
overtime.
and the good thing about this radio station, girl, the Lord has blessed us with it. So therefore, we ain't running over. You want to go ahead?
Yes, I know we're about to go into our final thoughts for today,
Yes.
but I wanted to give us a quick shout out
Okay,
because
come
we
on.
reached a really big milestone
Yes,
this
we
week.
have.
We actually reached 7,000 subscribers. on our
Over.
YouTube. Over 7,000.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
On our YouTube.
Yes.
And I just want to say, like, I'm so proud of how we've grown. I started working for the Love and Victory show not even a year ago,
Mhm.
and we weren't even at 1,000 at that point.
Yes.
And it's not about the numbers, but that is a good way to kind of see our growth.
Mhm.
And even today, right now, we have almost 700 viewers. We've got up almost to 800 at one point.
At one point today, it's just
So,
amazing.
We're doing really, really good. And I just want to thank our audience and thank everybody who supports Love and Victory Show, all of our amazing guests who join us. And I just wanted to give us a quick shout out.
Right?
She has something she's
Good
getting ready
job.
to play. You're gonna play it?
No, just
Okay, just
yeah.
show. Okay, I want to do this, and it's a little different than I normally do. And you guys got to meet the wonderful guests here, but I do want them to just describe being on the Love and Victory Show in 2 words only. I'll let you think, and we're gonna close out. 2 words only. Your experience on being on the Love and Victory Show.
Ooh, 2 words.
2 words.
Hard, Val.
Okay, well,
You wanna give them 3?
I'll give you 3.
Okay. Love.
Okay.
Comfortableness.
Mhm. Okay.
It's so hard to make it into words.
Okay. Well, just say what you say. How do you feel?
I feel super comfortable here. I feel love in the room. And the energy is always good. This is now my 2nd time on the show, and energy in the room always flows positive, which is what I love about coming on the show.
Alrighty then. And I'm gonna turn to Ann.
Well, I also had love in my head, and I have knowledge and just fun.
Fun.
This is very nice, very very fun, very entertaining. It's a great way to share your wisdom and have a good rebuttal and discussion with it. It's great. It's been
Thank
really
you. Alrighty.
Friendly and calm.
Oh wow. I love that. Friendly and calm. So Brother Carter is calm, or is he friendly?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
The atmosphere.
The whole atmosphere.
I know. And Brother Carter, what would you say about being on the show today?
Love and victory. So
Oh.
that's what it is.
All right then.
That was good. I like that you did that.
What would it be for you?
You know, I always say, the Love and Victory Show, we're about positivity. We're all about growth and accountability too. Those are my 3 words.
Okay, Aaron. Aaron got to get everything together when she speaks. Go on, Aaron.
Well, I'll make sure my words count.
Okay, there you go. All right, I love you.
Well, yeah, no, I would definitely say growth would be 1 word. Vulnerability. I think this is a really unique space to be open. And we have such an amazing community where no one's like, well, that's awful or that's stupid. Like
Mhm.
y'all also make it safe. So thank y'all so much. And just amazing because we really need conversations like this.
Well, thank you. And for myself, I would give it mind blowing and just a God community. I would say a God community, because this is a safe place to really feel comfortable and open and know that your words, your feelings matter. And so thank you guys so much for coming on the Love and Victory Show with Val. You will be back. And Brother Carter,
Yes.
as the
I
best
put my last 2 words in the caption there.
thank you.
Mhm.
I know, but I want to say this to you. Brother Carter, you are the best co-host anyone can ask for.
God bless you.
I
God
love
bless
you so much. I could not imagine being on this journey with anybody other than my soulmate. So
Mhm.
thank you for always encouraging me. Thank you for always supporting me and never, ever doubting what God has for me. So just thank you, baby.
I love it.
And real quick, did our guest want to tell us how we
Yeah,
can
tell
find
how we
you?
can find you and what you do.
online, what you
Absolutely.
Yes.
do?
Come on, girl. Come on, y'all share.
We're gonna
So-
start with. Let's start over here this time.
You want to start with the brothers?
Yeah.
Go on ahead, co-host. Tell them how to do
Okay,
it.
yeah. On Instagram is at Marquis.Lester, Marquis, Lester, Lester.
Mhm.
Facebook, Marquis Lester.
All righty then.
Okay. For me, it's coach.anna.forlife on Instagram, and in Facebook, just Anna Chaverra. You can find me. YouTube, you can find me Living Life with Coach Anna.
All righty then. Check her out.
For me, it's going to be Coco __ Leah LEAH, and everything that I do is actually in my bio, so it makes it easy for you guys to find.
All righty then. Everything that she does. And you want to say something else? And of course, we're going to look in the camera. We're going to tell everybody bye, and we'll see you.
Before you go,
Oh,
tell
yeah.
it. Want Abigail to tell the people about the app one more time.
Oh,
before
yeah.
we get out of
Oh,
here.
yeah, we got to do that. Yeah, y'all got to check this app out.
Yes. So we have the LV with Val app. You
Oh
can
my God.
download on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. We did just have an update. So if you already have the app, be sure you're updating the app. We got some new things coming for you. And we got more updates coming.
Oh my God, we have some amazing updates that's happening to this app. We did a new update, but we got something even more special. Check us out in the next.
Basically revamping. So
it's just
it's going to be really good.
when I tell you God is doing something amazing with LV with Val, don't sleep on us.
And make sure you click the heart
So-
on the app so you can register, because that signs you up for our monthly newsletter.
Yes.
And we got tons of new stuff coming. We're always growing and always looking to get that information out there. So be sure to download the LV with Val app. We also have our LV with Val radio station on the
Okay.
app.
Talk about it.
Yeah, and you can
Mhm.
listen to music 24/7. We finally have a really good library of music, tons of genres for you guys. Mostly like kind of the R&B vibe, but we try to mix it up a little bit.
Mhm.
Oh
We
yeah.
got 90s, we got current stuff, we got
Oh,
everything.
but you also got to tell them about the host and
Oh,
Brother
yeah.
Carter. It has his own show.
Yes.
Oh,
Also on
Lord.
our radio station, we
Yes.
have 2 other shows aside from the Love and Victory show. Actually, 3
Three,
other shows.
yes.
So we have Tasteful and Toxic. We were
Mhm.
talking about arguing earlier.
Oh,
They were arguing last week on Tasteful and Toxic, y'all.
Zay baby, toxic.
That's Brother Carter's show, where we talk about relationships and different topics in that sense. And then we also have Mental Wealth with Steph, with one of our reoccurring guests, Stephanie Burrell, where she talks about self-help,
Mhm.
finances, just,
Everything.
everything. She
Mhm.
kind of talks about a little bit of everything. And then we also have VK Career Conversations, where we
Yes.
talk about how you can build your career, what the do's and don'ts of corporate workplace, all that kind of stuff. And that is twice a month.
Yes.
So that'll be on the 1st and 3rd Monday starting in August.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can only get these when you download the app. So make sure you download the app so you can continue to listen to the different shows that we have on the show.
All righty then, y'all. Let's look at the camera and tell them bye. We're going party now. It's my birthday. Bye.